folks. Welcome to a new episode of Black Bear Voices presented by our very, very close friends over at Bangor Savings Bank. Today we've got a good one, smasher of softballs, slinger of pigskin, the viral sensation that swept the nation, and now the first female Black Bear to sign a pro football contract. Alyssa Derrick, Maine Softball alumni. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but we're a little sad. But, we still live in Maine, so spirits are good.
Right. I bet.
So where are you today? Are you in Rhode Island right now at your house?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Coventry, but I have an apartment down in South County. So I'm in South Kingstown, but right on my porch, like I normally am.
Nice. So what have you been up to? The last couple months have been kind of unique for you because for those that don't know, which I assume are the people that haven't discovered the internet yet, you kind of hit the internet in its face with this viral video back in 2017 of you slinging a football at Maine Day for what looked to be about 1,000 yards. And then again in 2018, if I have my timeline correct, you came back for an encore performance. I'm
Yes.
sure Maine Day was like a Billy Joel concert, everybody screaming Piano Man.
Oh,
And you slung it again and you high-fived a cop. And then finally here in 2020, you've agreed to join the WFLA, which is the Women's Football League Association, a 32-team league.
Mm-hmm.
What was that process like? How did that kind of come up? I mean, it was kind of 2018, so it's been a couple years, and now it's right back on the map. So what was that like?
So there was actually a third video in 2019
Wow.
when I graduated my senior year, which was crazy. So it's been a 3-year consistency, but I thought I retired when I graduated from throwing a football. And then I was working at a gym. COVID left me unemployed, sadly. But within 1 month, I went from unemployed as a personal trainer to getting a phone call from the WFLA asking if I wanted to sign my letter of intent, fly down to Houston, Texas, and be a quarterback for a professional women's football league. I was like, yeah, like of course. Like it's been absolutely crazy. I would never even think after playing softball at University of Maine that a year later I'd be going to play football and continuing my competitive athletic career.
So have you played in a female football pickup game or even like intramural flag football, or what's your football experience under center?
So obviously the video is just throwing with the guys. I grew up playing in like street games, powder puff football at my high school. I was a quarterback and a wide receiver. So every year during high school, we kind of just play one game a year, and it was flag football.
Mm-hmm.
And this is full pads, full tackle, full everything. So I've never played in that kind of setting.
Right. Does that make you nervous having to learn legitimate X's and O's and game plans and stuff, or do you feel like you're up for the challenge?
It's kind of nerve-wracking, especially like I just started practicing with a coach 2 weeks ago and really learning and diving deep into the details and what I really need to read on a field. And it is nerve-wracking, but it's so exciting because leaving college, I'm so bored. Like I just want to learn something new.
Right.
Like I want to go back to school or something. And now it's like, okay, you've played all these different sports your whole life, but you're going to have a little twist. You're going to have to learn a brand new sport that you watch every day, but you're going to have to learn how to play it and play it well. And that's your new job.
Oh boy. I don't know if I could do it. So let's say, from what I understand, the league is trying to launch gameplay in May 2021, from what I read, which is You've got some time to kind of get your feet under you. What are you on a kind of timeline with the team, or how closely are they monitoring you? I know you mentioned you've been working with a coach, but what's the process been like from here, and what's it look like going forward?
Yeah. So we'll have spring training in March. So I'll fly down to Houston in March, and I'll actually work with the Houston Stampedes and my organization's coaches from March to May. But right now, because of COVID, I can't physically go there and practice and meet the coaches. So they kind of put a lot of trust in me. I talk to my coaches and the owner of my team a lot. We communicate all the time, especially with my players. And they kind of just trust me in getting help and just my knowledge and my ability to be coached, and kind of like, hey, learn the basics. Here's the bullet points I want you to learn. Here's all the highlights I want you to learn. You have until May, and then, well, until March. And then March to May, we're really going to train you the way that we want you to play quarterback.
Right. Jeez. Well, the WFLA is interesting for a lot of reasons. The full contact tackling, which you mentioned, is pretty unique to women's sports. They still have helmet-on-helmet contact rules like the NFL. Something else they have like the NFL, they're going to pay their athletes And
Yeah.
this kind of feeds into a larger conversation that we saw in the Women's Soccer World Cup a couple years ago with Megan Rapinoe, and just female representation in sport as a whole. I mean, for you, I know you're pretty passionate about this. So for you to join this league, obviously it's exciting to be a professional athlete, but there's a little bit more going on here. So did you want to maybe speak to that a little bit on a personal level?
Yeah. So I've always been someone to do whatever I wanted. So if I wanted to play football in high school, if I wanted to play football with the boys, I'm gonna go out there and play football with the boys.
Mhm.
This has been completely different because I feel like this league is changing women's sports as we know it, and given the opportunity of females to play a male dominated sport and get paid to do something that you love. So same thing the other way around. So we were talking about it earlier. When a guy wants to dance and they want to be a backup dancer and that's their profession, they might not get paid as much, or they might not have as much of an opportunity as other people. And with this league having 65, 70 players per team, 32 leagues in the country, and you're actually getting paid to play a sport, and hopefully getting a lot more money than we've been seeing women get paid, with NBA, WNBA, or pro softball versus MLB. Like,
Mhm.
it's absolutely wild just how they want to change the dynamic of a male sport and bring equality to it. And I'm all for it. I've always been for it. For the past 4 years, I've been
Yeah.
speaking upon it, changing little girls' minds and helping them follow their dream. Like, this wasn't my dream. This never was my dream. I've always wanted to be a pro athlete. I've never wanted to be a pro football player. But there's little girls out there that want to be a pro football player.
Right.
And I'm
Or little girls that don't even know yet that they're supposed to be professional football players because the opportunity just
exactly.
isn't there. Exactly. I think that's a good point. I
But
think it's
that's
interesting. Yeah. Because, I mean, we talked about it earlier and you just mentioned it. In the WNBA, the highest paid player, DeWanna Bonner, is paid 127 grand a year. Steph Curry makes somewhere around a cool 40 million.
yeah.
And you can talk about revenue generating and things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, we look at a women's soccer game that's very successful at the national level. Those out earn the men every single year.
Yeah.
And you look at viewership data and stuff, and 51% of people I read that watch women's sports are men. So there's an audience for this, and the WFLA is putting their money where their mouth is. A young lady by the name of Santia Deck signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the LA Flames. So the action is there to meet the talk. So just, I mean, now looping back, I mean, we're all excited about the WFLA. We're all huge Stampede fans now. But looping back to your time at Maine, I mean, you've had a year to reflect and look back. I mean, you had a great career, all these accolades, tied the program record for home runs in a single season, blah, on and on and on. We all know. You've had a year to kind of reflect on it. I mean, how did that experience at Maine playing in Orono kind of set you up for this real world?
It set me up for everything. Like, even things I can't even explain that I learn every single day. How much Orono, my teammates, the people that I met, my coaches, especially Coach Coots, Lynn, and Mike, just everything that I've learned up there has brought me to, like, it's it's so hard to explain. Like, I've been reflecting about it a lot because a lot of people have asked, or like, do you miss Maine? Like, did Maine set you up to like help you for the future and multitask? Like, yes, multitasking and caring and wanting to be the number one and always trying my hardest. Like, yes. But Maine has also taught me how other people have gone through so much and have got to that experience, and they work their butts off. Like, every single athlete that I've ever met at Maine, I still talk to, and they're having opportunities like I'm getting as well. And it's like, it was one big family, and I've never felt so much support, and I continue to feel it every single day. Like, the UMaine community is absolutely wild. So I reflect on it all the time. It's taught me everything in life: football, cooking, just like being friendly, saying hi to people, every little aspect the University of Maine has taught me. I can't even tell you specifics.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing that you only understand once you're here in the zip code, and I think around the people, and I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of all I have for you. I mean, I wanted to talk about this exciting opportunity and check in with you. Again, for everyone watching, the WFLA trying to start in May 2021. There will be a team in Boston. Teams are still available to purchase ownership of. I saw
Yeah.
for $500,000, I believe, is the starting bid for a team. Ja Rule just bought the New York Stars. So if anyone watching this has $499,000 they can loan me, we can get something cooking. Until then, we're all Stampede fans. There will be a team in Boston, so hopefully we get a date in Boston and we can organize the old Black Bear bus to come on down. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck getting ready for this amazing opportunity, and we hope it all works out for you. We can't wait to see it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome to share my experience. I can't wait.
Oh, we can't either. Right on, Alyssa. Thank you very much. That's it for this episode of Black Bear Voices. Check in next week. We've always got more coming out. Until that time, I'm Tyler Neville. We'll talk to you then.